Tadashi, just let him die.
Give me the mask, hero.
He went in there to save you.
That was his mistake.
This is my favorite scene in Big Hero 6. Y'all better not think I'm joking.
That was his mistake.
I think the complaints that people have for this one are pretty valid, but the only thing that really bothered me about this film is the villain. I don't know, I feel like the movie was trying way too hard to focus on spectacle and action without developing our main antagonist very well. But the way that he's established is absolutely genius. And it's all thanks to this one scene.
That was his mistake.
So in order for me to explain why this scene works so well, I should probably give y'all a little bit of context. So, let's go back a few minutes. So Hiro and friends are out on this journey to a mysterious island where they'll hopefully find the identity of the mysterious man in the mask. Once they get to the island, they find a really old computer that has a secret video footage of a test run for a teleporter or something. Then they see Cray there and immediately assume that he's the man in the mask and he wants to get his machine back. Oh yeah, and then the man in the mask shows up. Now this is what I'm talking about. I absolutely love the action in this movie, and I love how each character gets a chance to shine. TJ Miller gets to use his fire breath, Go-Go gets to use her roller skates, Wasabi gets to use his lightsabers, Hana gets to use her balls. It's all really entertaining from a visual standpoint, and I love how well each scene is shot. But then, just when it looks like they're gonna lose, Baymax flies up and Hiro knocks the mask off Cray's face.
Nah, that's not right.
Turns out Callahan is the one that's responsible for Tadashi's death, and he's the one that started the fire. I'm not gonna pretend like I saw this coming when I watched the film in theaters, but to be fair, I was like 9. But I'm dead serious when I say that this is actually my favorite scene in the movie, for so many reasons.
That was his mistake.
First of all, I like how this movie doesn't instantly tell us what Callahan's motivations are. Even though the big twist of the movie has already been revealed, it still leaves the audience with questions. Why did Callahan start the fire? Why does he need the microbots so badly? These types of unanswered questions are important to keep your audience engaged because they want these questions to be answered.
He went in there to save you.
Another great thing about this scene is that it's the first time we've ever gotten a negative reaction out of Hiro involving the events of his brother. Throughout most of the movie, he acts indifferent about the situation and doesn't seem interested in talking about it with anyone. He shuts out his brother's friends when they try to contact him, and he's never actually shown discussing the incident with his aunt. When he realizes that his brother's death was potentially murder, he goes to immeasurable lengths to get his vengeance. If it was some random guy wearing the mask, it might not have been a big deal. Cray is just some random guy, but now that Callahan is revealed to be the main antagonist, it's become more than just that. Now, it's personal.
His mistake.
So then, Hiro gives Baymax the command.
Baymax, destroy.
I think it's important that up to this point we've never actually seen Baymax fight. So it's no surprise that he says it goes against his programming to do that.
My programming prevents me from injuring a human being.
Not anymore.
But Hiro ignores his wishes, removes Tadashi's chip,
Hiro,
and once
this is
again,
not what...
gives him the command.
Do it, Baymax. Destroy him.
And then it finally hit me why this scene is so magnificent. In this scene, Baymax is the visual representation of Hiro's mind. He's not physically strong enough to take on Callahan, so he uses Baymax as a vessel to do the job for him. This is someone who has had their emotions bottled up for who knows how long. And now, he finally has an outlet to let it all out on. This isn't just an act of vengeance anymore. It's an act of rage. Pure, unfiltered rage. All of this is paired up with the perfect music that slowly drowns out the sound of the other heroes, who are trying to get Baymax to stop. It's no accident that Hiro isn't shown in this part of the scene. Baymax is enough to say it all. Hiro's too caught up in his own anger to think rationally about what he's doing. Even as a kid, I knew Callahan wasn't gonna die, but honestly, I remember being on the edge of my seat during this scene just as much. Before I go any further into this scene, I want to quickly go over WandaVision, a piece of media that takes a similar approach with its themes about grief. Both Hiro and Wanda are struggling to deal with the loss of somebody they love. Hiro with his brother, and Wanda with her love interest, Vision. They both make morally incorrect choices as they believe that it will get them what they want. The difference between the two is the fact that Wanda never gets called out for her actions. The series uses her grief as an excuse for everything she does, and she never gets called out for any of it. If anything, it makes her seem like she's the victim despite holding hundreds of innocent people hostage in the series. And while it's nice to see her get a proper goodbye with Vision, I think she got off a little bit too easy by the end. In contrast, Hiro's friends call him out for his crap with these lines.
Had him!
What you just did, we never signed up for.
We said we'd catch the guy. That's it.
I never should have let you help me.
This feels like one of the main takeaways the movie wants to leave you with. Grief is not an excuse to do whatever you want. Bad choices are still bad choices, and they always have consequences. Lastly, I think this scene really shows how the other characters are great friends. They're there to support Hiro when he needs it most, and they're willing to help him out when he asks for it. But they still call him out when he uses Baymax to try and murder somebody. They know it's not the right thing to do, and they don't use Hiro's grief as justification for it. That's the importance of friendship. It's really important when dealing with situations like this. And even though Hiro's friends know what he did was wrong, they understand what was going on in his mind. His grief isn't an excuse for what he did, but it's at least more understandable. If they didn't care about his well-being, then they would have just let him kill Baymax. But they didn't. That's why their eventual reunion in the climax actually feels genuine, because these characters feel so much more like real people. That's the thing about films in general. Even if the overall product isn't the greatest, I can still appreciate a lot of its elements. Big Hero 6 is a great film with some truly powerful messages, all paired with great characters, good humor, and amazing action. So while it's far from my favorite Disney film, and way far from my favorite animated movie, I love it nonetheless.